Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ian the Reader. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a book haul for you guys. I don't do these very often, but this weekend my wife and I went around to some bookstores and thrift shops and the like, and I found some books, so I thought I would go ahead and share all of the books that I bought with you guys this weekend. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books or if you're excited to hear my thoughts on any of them. I don't think I've read any of them. Maybe I have. We'll get to that in just a second, but yeah, here are all the books. I went a little bit crazy, so be prepared for that. So first up is kind of an interesting find for me, and it's one that I am surprised I never read when I was growing up, but I didn't. So I picked up all of these Goosebumps books. Goosebump books or Goosebumps books? How do you say that? Okay, it's Goosebumps in the title with an S. So the Goosebumps books. I don't like saying that though. Goosebumps books. Okay, moving on, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep saying that and it's gonna be weird. Yeah, I got a bunch of Goosebumps books. It's so weird. I'm not gonna tell you all the titles, but I'm just gonna show them here. Like I said, I never read these when I was growing up. I'm a big horror fan, but that didn't really happen until I was an adult. And these were ones that I truly wish I'd grown up reading, just because I feel like it's such an experience for a lot of people. And so I saw these at Goodwill for like 50 cents each. And so I just decided to pick them up. Some of the covers are definitely familiar to me. I saw them at like book fairs when I was growing up and all that jazz, but I've never read any. And I think that this is just fun. I don't know if they're like genuinely scary or if I'm just gonna have a good time with them, but people seem to love them even as adults. I know people have a lot of nostalgia for them, so I wonder if I can tap into that nostalgia just from the covers and the vibes, rather than the actual content of the stories, because I have no idea what happens here, but I'm excited to have found these. Let me know if you enjoyed this series, and if so, which one's your favorite? Which one sticks out in your memory from growing up? Completely switching lanes though, I picked up Pronto by Elmore Leonard. So this is an author that has gotten quite a bit of praise in quite a few writing videos that I've actually watched, just due to his dialogue. People say that his dialogue is really snappy and natural and really communicates a lot with a little. And that really interests me. So this is the start of his series that features Raylan Givens, who is the main character of the show Justified, which I haven't watched. But I really do want to read Elmore Leonard, and this seems like a really good place to start. So I'm excited about reading Pronto. Yeah, I also own a couple other books by him. I think one I own is called Get Shorty, which is such a fun title. But I picked up Pronto, and I'm excited about it. Let me know if you've read this. I also found a copy of The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, so I have watched the Netflix show. I haven't read the book. I know, I'm a terrible book person. What are you gonna do? It was blowing up on Netflix. I had to watch it, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, I've heard the book is quite different, which I'm excited about because I want to have a different and fresh experience with it. I have read one other thing by Shirley Jackson, We Have Always Lived in the Castle. I had to read that for a college class, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I do actually hope to pick this up this season because it's short, and I love horror, and I haven't read this, which is crazy. So very excited about it. I was also sent a book for review by Orbit, and that is The Scarlet Throne. It says, to remain a god, she will become a demon. So, fun. What a good time. I'm not sure if this is out yet. I will put the release date right here. If it's out, you can get it, and if it's not, you can get it soon. So, do with that what you will. These next two books are not books that I actually found, but I did order them on Amazon recently. They came in this weekend as well. The first of those is The Thief of Always by Clive Barker. Now, I've never read a Clive Barker book, but this is one of those olive edition copies, and I just think these are so cool, and I thought this cover was absolutely stunning. It's really wacky, and I love that. And additionally, there are some creepy illustrations in here, which is just awesome. I love it so much. So I really would like to check this book out this season as well. I don't really know anything about it. The reason I ordered it is because it was only like $10 and it's an olive edition, and I like the cover and I want to read Clive Barker. So those are all my reasons. Don't question me any further, please. And then I also ordered the SPFBO winner from last year, and that is Murder at Spindle Manor by Morgan Stang. So I have heard quite a bit of good stuff about this. Like I said, it won SPFBO, which is the self-published fantasy blog-off competition. And additionally, it just sounds so cool. It's like an Agatha Christie type whodunit story, like locked room type thing, but with a fantasy angle where the murderer is a shapeshifter. So that sounds really cool. I'm in. I love mysteries. I love fantasy. This just feels like my kind of book. Okay, I also found this book at a thrift store. and I feel like I should read it at some point. I just want to try it. I really love historical fiction, and I'm okay with romance, so maybe I'll really enjoy the series. The book is Outlander. I've actually owned a copy of this before and unhauled it, but I feel like this is the time, and this is a particularly floppy paperback, so I'm in for that, and maybe I'll really love it. Hopefully. Jumping back into horror though, I found this super cool mass market paperback of The Store by Bentley Little. So this book actually is on my radar because I watched a video by Adam Caesar. I think that's how you say his last name, but he's the author of Clown in a Cornfield. And in the video, he was talking about like 5 horror essentials for people who want to get into horror. And this is one of the books that he mentioned. And I haven't read anything by Bentley Little, so I like the cover. This is apparently about an evil grocery store, which is the most random B-movie horror thing I've ever heard of. And I am so down for that. So hopefully I read this soon, and hopefully it's as wacky of a good time as I think it's gonna be. Also found a copy of I Am Not a Serial Killer on clearance at Half Price Books for like $2 or $3, and it was signed. My name is not Alex, although Alexander is my middle name, so we're gonna pretend I'm Alex for right now. I'm happy. It's a cheap signed book of a book that I really enjoyed. I binged this whole series in July, so I'm happy to have a copy of it, and even more happy that it was signed and cheap. Yeah, buddy. I also picked up a copy of Hummingbird Salamander by Jeff Vandermeer. I read Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer earlier this year, and I loved it. It was a 5-star book. Now, this book does not have as high reviews as that one does, but I want to give his books another try. So now I own this one and another one. I think it's called Venice Underground. But yeah, this was at the dollar store for $1.25, so I totally picked it up, and I don't regret it. Hopefully I enjoy it. I know nothing about this book, though, which is really great. An author that I really want to try and that I now own 3 books from, but have not read anything by, is David Mitchell. This is Black Swan Green, and I found it on clearance at Half Price Books. Haven't taken the sticker off. Oh well. And I bought this solely because of the author. I have a good feeling about David Mitchell. I think I'm gonna like his stuff. And so I've been wanting to get some more of his books, even though I haven't read any. And yeah, it was on clearance for $2, so I picked it up. If you've read this, let me know if it's good and if you think I would enjoy it. Another book that I picked up a copy of is one that I found out about the other day, and I'm really intrigued by it. So I was in the mood for a small town book, like just a book in a small town community. And so I picked up Plain Song by Kent Haruf, and yeah, I want to read it. I've read one other book by Kent Haruf, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's called Our Souls at Night, and I really enjoyed that one, so I would love to read Plain Song. Let me know if you've read it and if it's good. I apparently just went really crazy on getting books that I've never heard of or know nothing about, though, because I picked up this book called The Restraint of Beasts, and I don't want to know anything about it. I picked this up solely based on the cover. I didn't read the flap. I didn't check it out on Goodreads, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to read it blind, because I think that's such a fun experience sometimes. I feel like we, as readers, are so overwhelmed these days by people's opinions on social media. Sorry, I'm here sharing my opinions with you. It's a good thing, it really is. But sometimes it's just nice to get back to that feeling of like when you were growing up and you just walked into the library, saw a book, and you're like, oh, this looks really cool, and then you read it. And that's what I want to do with this. I like the cover, I know nothing about it, and that's fine with me. These next 2 books are in a YA series, and typically I don't read very much YA, but I've heard really good things about this, particularly from Danielle, whose channel I will link down below. I saw on the Book of Charmer Discord that she gave this second book in the series 5 stars, and she really enjoyed the first one, so I found these at the thrift store for really cheap, so I thought I'd go ahead and pick them up. The books I'm talking about are A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and the second book, Good Girl, Bad Blood. So yeah, don't know too much about them, but I'm gonna try them. And the last book for today is super random, but I found it for $5, and sometimes I just really want an urban fantasy book, and that is The Necropolis Archives. This is an omnibus that has, I wanna say, 3 books in one, and the premise is meet Matt Richter, Private Eye, Zombie. I'm sold. I'm sold. I like urban fantasy. I particularly like urban fantasy detective stories, and an urban fantasy detective who is a zombie. Sometimes that's the trash that I need. I need that trash. So yeah, those are the books that I picked up recently. I went a little bit crazy. I will say, aside from the ones I bought on Amazon, I only spent like $3 on most of them or less, aside from the zombie one. But that's 3 books in one, so it's like I spent $5 on 3 books total. So I can live with myself, I guess. I don't know. I should buy less books. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Just a little quick update on some of the books I bought. I thought it'd be fun. I was filming another video and I saw all the books in a big stack and I was like, you know what, let's talk about these. So there you have it. Like I said, let me know if you've read any of these and or enjoyed them, and if you think I will. Would love to know. Hopefully I actually get around to reading these. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.